CBS News Bay Area Afternoon Edition with Ann Mekovic.
On the afternoon edition, a live look at Capitol Hill, where lawmakers are scrambling to keep federal food aid coming in. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. SNAP benefits are expected to run out in 3 days as the government shutdown stretches on. About 40 million Americans right now are in danger of losing critical food assistance. The Department of Agriculture says money for the SNAP program will run out on Saturday. Today, Democrats challenged Republicans to put a bill up for a vote that would fully fund food stamp programs.
We're ready to work in whatever way to solve this issue. There's a bill right now from Senator Hawley, a Republican, a conservative Republican, that could ensure SNAP is funded. It has Republican and Democratic support. It's a bill I'd happily support and vote for.
For now, local governments and business owners are stepping up for families. California is fast-tracking the distribution of $80 million to support food banks across the state, and dozens of Bay Area restaurants are joining together to offer free meals for kids ages 12 and under. Taking a live look right now at San Francisco City Hall, where Mayor Daniel Lurie is announcing a lifeline to the 112,000 people getting SNAP benefits in the city. In partnership with the Crank Start Foundation, they are going to provide $18 million in gift cards to SNAP recipients.
If you are one of 112,000 San Franciscans who receive SNAP benefits, your mayor and your leaders will not let this federal government shutdown prevent you from putting food on the table for your families.
So recipients will get a QR code by mail, which would allow them to download a digital gift card or request a physical gift card. Our Veronica Macias is in North Beach with the latest on the city's effort to support vulnerable families.
Right now, food banks and nonprofits like North Beach Citizens are anticipating a tidal wave of people showing up, getting in line for food assistance. They say hunger really looms, and they're now stepping up, answering the call in this time of need. Over the weekend, we know people will not be able to use their CalFresh benefits starting on November 1st. It's SNAP benefits that so many people desperately rely on. The organization right now doing their best to spread the word, to stock up. They fear many seniors might not even be aware of what's happening. The situation is being projected to be dire, with people who are living off Social Security checks and being forced to choose between affording their food or even in some cases paying their rent. The SNAP benefits account for a third of people's income here. Yeah, if you don't have SNAP benefits, what happens?
I don't have no food, or I can't make groceries and stuff because I'm on a fixed income and I get SNAP. But it's gonna leave me without a lot of groceries and a lot of food I can't afford. And I'm on a special diet.
What's amazing is that the mayor and Crank Start has come in. They are bridging the gap for San Francisco residents, 112,000 people who get SNAP benefits. Unfortunately, we believe that there'll be a little bit of glitches. That's a big program to release in 3 days with QR codes and gift cards. So we'll be here. We're going to help people work through the systems.
Christy telling us that these are faces she regularly sees. The situation, in her opinion, this crisis really just inhumane. And if people can help, right now is the time to do it.
This is video of a flyer that's being handed out. We're told it is one of the many tools being used to try to overcome language barriers throughout the city to get people the help they need. We are following a developing story meantime out of Oakland. 6 alleged members of the Sureno gang were arrested this morning. This is on Colma Street. Federal and local law enforcement working together on this bust. Those 6 people, as well as 3 others, are now facing several charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, in connection with 2 murders and 3 attempted murders. President Trump says he is keeping his eye on San Francisco after calling off a federal surge in the Bay Area last week. Earlier today, he told reporters on Air Force One that he is ready to act if local government can't get the job done.
We were all set to go last Saturday into San Francisco. We look forward to that. We would have solved that problem in less than a month. But at the behest of a couple of really great people, very successful, great civic-minded people, they said, we'd love to try doing it ourselves, and that's okay. And we worked with the mayor, and we're working with those people, but we didn't surge the city. And I said, if we surge, it's going to go a lot quicker, and it's much more effective. But I want to give them a chance to do it themselves if they can. If they can't do it themselves, we'll solve San Francisco in 3 weeks.
So last week, President Trump called off a border patrol surge in the Bay Area after he says San Francisco Mayor Daniel Lurie asked for a chance to turn things around. The mayor says he told the president things are on the rise, pointing to the city's lowest violent crime rate in decades. Hurricane Melissa carving a deadly path through the Caribbean. Officials say dozens of people were killed in Jamaica, Cuba, and Haiti. This is what things looked like when it made landfall in Cuba earlier this morning. More than 700,000 people on the island have been evacuated. There were sustained winds of up to 120 miles per hour. Those winds were closer to 185 miles per hour when that storm made landfall in Jamaica yesterday. Category 5, the strongest storm ever to hit the island. The prime minister has declared the entire country a disaster area. Local officials say 77% of Jamaica is without power. The storm has now been downgraded to a Category 2 hurricane. Back here at home, we are looking at a warm day around the Bay Area. Let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Jessica Birch.
Absolutely, and we're going to get to that local forecast in just a bit, but let's dive a little bit more into what's happening for our friends down into the Caribbean, because as they head outside today and tomorrow, this fast-moving storm is continuing to track its way to the north, impacting millions when it comes to storm surge. On top of that, we've been keeping a close eye on landslides from some of these larger, of course, heavy amounts of rain that have been falling throughout the Cuban mountains, the Sierra Madre, as well as our friends down into Jamaica, too. It hit as a Category 5 hurricane. It's continuing to track north. Earlier this morning, it hit Cuba as a Category 3 status. It went over land, and you could even zoom in just a little bit, Simon. You could see that eye really decaying as it moves its way over Cuba. That's what we're keeping a close eye on as it continues to enter some warmer sea surface temperatures right around the corner, bringing in damaging conditions for our friends up into Bermuda just around the corner. So watches and warnings are in effect right now, anywhere from the Bahamas over into Cuba. We're also continuing to track just the intensity of this. Up to around 10 inches expected into Bermuda, 25 inches into Cuba. It left close to around 40 over into Jamaica. We'll have more on that coming up in a bit, and I'll have your local forecast too. For now, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jess. A look at some Bay Area headlines. Firefighters mopping up hot spots after a 2-alarm fire damaged a strip mall in Cupertino overnight. This broke out just before 3 this morning on South Piazza Boulevard by Silverado. Fire officials say 3 businesses were damaged. Nobody was injured. Police releasing this sketch of a suspect who they say tried to kidnap an 11-year-old girl in Union City. They say she was riding her scooter to school last Friday when he grabbed her sweatshirt, but she got away. Police say that man is about 6 feet tall with scars or tattoos on his index fingers. Clerks at the San Francisco Superior Court have called off a one-day strike that was scheduled for today. They reached a tentative agreement just in time. And as according to a union spokesperson, the clerks were protesting what they described as management's failure to address staffing shortages and inadequate training. Just days ago, clerks were picketing outside demanding improvements, but the union says court operations will continue as normal today. After ousting Sheriff Christina Corpus earlier this month, leaders in San Mateo County officially made their plans to replace her. This time, the Board of Supervisors wants more of a say. They directed staff to create an appointment process that prioritizes transparency and community trust, including revising interview questions. Supervisors also plan to hold at least one public meeting to interview candidates directly, featuring a community forum. Applications for sheriff are open through November 5th. The city of Oakland trying to get illegal dumping under control. Mayor Barbara Lee has expanded hours for cleanup crews as part of her Keep the Town Clean initiative. This is what the corner of 26th Street and Peralta and West Oakland looked like not even 2 weeks ago. And today, a group of regional leaders came together to try to find a solution for dumping, not just for Oakland, but across the Bay Area.
When you have illegal dumping in a community, it just brings down the quality of life in that community, and it becomes a contributing factor for other types of behavior that might affect the community. And illegal dumping, as Aaron said, has no bounds. You know, sometimes people just think it's concentrated in urban communities. No, it's everywhere.
Organizers of today's event say they hope to facilitate other meetings outside the Bay Area and eventually get enough momentum to get the state to step in to help cities deal with illegal dumping. Still ahead here at noon and streaming on CBS News Bay Area, a breach in the ceasefire between Israel and Gaza. Dozens of people were just killed. The latest justifications from each side. And love them or hate them, more autonomous cars are about to hit Bay Area streets. The new merger and what it means for those hoping to catch a ride. And let's take another live look outside before we head to break. Blue skies throughout much of the Bay Area. We're going to be right back. Well, Israel says it is still committed to a ceasefire in Gaza despite the deadliest day since the U.S.-backed plan went into effect. According to Hamas, more than 100 people were killed by Israeli strikes. Israel claims those strikes were in response to a Hamas attack that killed an Israeli soldier, but Hamas leaders deny involvement and say Israel violated the ceasefire. The president is in South Korea for his last and most anticipated stop on his tour of Asia. He is expected to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping before returning to the U.S. The leaders of the world's two biggest economies are going to try to finalize a trade deal to ease tariff tensions. They're expected to cover a lot of ground, including the sale of TikTok, soybeans, rare earth minerals, and countering fentanyl. The meeting between the two is actually going to take place at the airport tomorrow morning, local time, which will be late tonight here in the U.S. All right, taking a check on Wall Street this Wednesday afternoon. Live look at the big board. Stocks are down a little bit. They were higher earlier after the Federal Reserve cut interest rates for the second time this year, but now we're seeing a little reversal. Dow is down about 70 points. NVIDIA boosting those market moves. The Silicon Valley chip giant just became the world's first $5 trillion company. These gains driven by a relentless demand for artificial intelligence. Yesterday, NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang said he plans to have the company's chips in everything, from cell phone towers to robotic factories to self-driving cars. Speaking of, some more competition for Waymo. Uber is joining the robo-taxi game here in the Bay Area, teaming up with electric car manufacturer Lucid and tech company Nuro to create and test its own autonomous vehicles in San Francisco. Uber is going to be testing up to 100 vehicles to start. And if all goes well, we might see them accepting fares as soon as next year. Back to our first alert weather, the least controversial story of the day. This is a live look outside from our camera on Black Mountain. Checking in with meteorologist Jessica Birch. Kind of a warm one inland for
I was about to say, it's controversial that it's so warm out, right?
Okay.
No, here's what's happening for us as we head outside today. Yeah, we are sitting above average. It almost feels like a summer-like forecast. Take a look at that boat right behind me, that ferry heading off in that blue water. We're seeing blue skies above us too, and 80s in the forecast for us. Anywhere from the North Bay, which let's just zoom all the way in there, all the way down into the South Bay. So Santa Rosa today, sitting at 85 degrees. You know what that does? That puts us 11 degrees above average for that microclimate. Zoom out real fast, Simon. I want to tilt a little bit more south now. You head over into places like Redwood City, 14 degrees above average there. San Jose this afternoon, 83 degrees, 10 degrees above average. That's not going to last for too much longer, folks. Right around the corner as early as tomorrow, about all of these temperatures, at least in our inland microclimates, are going to drop about 10 degrees, back to where we should be for this time of year at the end of the day. And the reason why is because low pressure is going to be moving in. It'll cool us off a little bit, but we're still staying dry until next week. And the reason why I want to even just bring this up is because I'm going to show you the next 7 days in a second. You're going to see a big change as we head into next week's forecast, and it has to do with rain right around the corner. From now until this weekend, which is actually perfect because Halloween's right around the corner on Friday, it's dry, it's beautiful. Of course, Halloween night is going to be chilly, so you're going to want to have that jacket ready to go for the kiddos, but it's still a beautiful day ahead of us. I mean, we're talking about 70s in our inland areas, both Friday and Saturday. Warm weather as we dive into this weekend, cooler conditions as early as next Tuesday. Simon, zoom into this real fast. Our inland forecast as we head into our Tuesday setup has showers on tap for us, cooler temperatures around the corner. Let me pull up the bay because we're seeing the exact same trend. Temperatures are just going to be a little bit cooler, of course, compared to those inland microclimates that are used to drier conditions during this time of year. Here's what's happening for us. We head into this weekend. High pressure starts to move its way out tomorrow. We're going to see cooler temperatures. I mean, a 10-degree jump from today all the way into our forecast tomorrow. Don't get used to what we have today. Just get out there and enjoy it while we have it. Honestly, get out there, get some fresh air, sunshine. We have partly cloudy skies rolling back in tomorrow. Cooler temperatures on tap for us for Halloween and this weekend. The big story next week, which is right around the corner in the next 7 days, has to do with showers on tap for us too. Let's talk more about that coming up in a bit. For now, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jess. Coming up, big game coming up this weekend, how one 49er player is planning on bringing it in both the offense and defense. The 49ers head to New York, taking on the Giants this Sunday, and the team's star running back, Christian McCaffrey, isn't the team's only dual threat on offense. Matt Lively has our Red and Gold reports.
This is the Audi Red and Gold Report.
The 49ers are relying on rookies this season to step up with a bounty of injuries, but one offensive lineman has done much more than they could have bargained for. That's 6'5", 309-pound Connor Colby with his first NFL reception against the Falcons.
Are you a little jealous of his pass-catching abilities?
Yeah, I wish I saw a stat where he's the only Niners rookie with a catch, and he had, got a couple yards to get us back into field goal range. So thanks to him.
When you're running with that ball, is that an experience unlike anything you've had before?
I mean, I did pick up a fumble in high school one time. Took that 32 yards in for a touchdown, but I mean, obviously I wasn't going to be breaking 7 tackles,
He didn't just have a grab in that game either. Colby helped get Christian McCaffrey into the end zone.
I was just trying to block people mostly, and then he kind of ran into me, and then we were backpedaling into the end zone.
Colby was a 4-year starter on the O-line at Iowa, but wasn't selected until the 7th round in the 2025 draft.
I haven't had an Iowa teammate since C.J. Beathard, so I've been pretty lonely here for a while. I've just been overtaken by Nebraskans and Iowa State guys.
What did you know about Kittle? Was there any lore about him?
I mean, obviously, I grew up watching him on the TV because I was an Iowa fan my whole life.
The 49ers have preached next man up all season, and Colby will continue to do that until Barch returns from a high ankle sprain.
All right, when we come back, Halloween festivities already hitting Bay Area Transit. We're taking a look at some of Bart's spookiest riders. Families dressed up in their Halloween best to ride in Bart's Trunk or Treat event last night, loading up on the Halloween train from the Dublin Pleasanton station to Lake Merritt, where they got to load up on candy and treats. They did some pumpkin painting and caricature drawings. Check out this guy who chose to dress up as a Bart train to ride the train for the event. That is dedication. That is it for the afternoon edition. Remember, we are streaming 24/7 on the free CBS News app. Just go to live and then choose Bay Area.